Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well. Who's with us? Ivor with us, Jeffrey with us, Lionel with us, I see. Who else with us? Frank with us. Good. Who else joining us? I see there's more people joining to the show. We're just going to give another few more minutes, and then Be'ezrat Hashem will start the show. I see Hilton going to join us, Ivor with us, Jeffrey with us. Okay, good. Jeffrey, we Parashat Korach. Are you with us, Jeffrey?
Yes, I'm with you, Rob. Good evening.
Good evening. I see Mark going to join us any minute. Yes, Mark join us. I see Hilton with us. Hilton, you want to give me the name? Be'ezrat Hashem. Hilton, I don't
Can
know
you
if
hear
you
me?
can hear me. I can hear you.
Ze'ev ben Yehoshua.
Ze'ev ben Yoshua. Okay, Ze'ev ben Yoshua. So, Rabotai, we're going to give an... Oh, Marky. How are you, Mark?
I'm in bed, Rob.
What's wrong? You lost your voice, or you're not feeling well?
I had a chest infection, but Baruch Hashem, I'm getting better.
Oh, refuah shleima. Please, God, refuah shleima. We're going to dedicate the show to your strength, to your refuah shleima, Be'ezrat Hashem.
That will help. Thank you, Rob.
Okay, so Rabotai, I'm gonna mute everyone. Okay, I'm gonna mute everyone. Everyone is muted. Jeffrey, don't forget to unmute yourself. Okay, so Be'ezrat Hashem, na'aseh v'natzliach, ve'Hashem alenu berachamav yarviach. I would like, first of all, to dedicate the show in the soul of Esther Kaden, Bat Ketia Mordechai ben Rahma, Harav Avraham Chaim ben Eliezer Yaakov, Tamar bat Zehava, Yaakov Salomon ben Farha, Dvorah Ruth bat Beila, Shosha Blima bat Mordechai Betzalel, Malka Regina bat Joya, Keti Gurgia bat Farha, Ze'ev ben Hilton, Ze'ev ben, please unmute yourself. Hilton?
Rob, the lights have gone out to where we are, just gone out right this minute. Maybe it's affected.
Okay, maybe it's affected him. I think so. Hilton, what's the name? No, here, Hilton is coming back. Here he's coming back. It was Ze'ev ben Yitzhak, yes. Okay, now I remember. Okay, and also in health of, let's dedicate the shiur in health of Menashe Naji ben Faha, Leora ben Miriam, Arav Moshe ben Bahia Bati, Arav Moshe ben Devorah, Arav Avraham ben Marina, Arav Shlomo Yehuda ben Dalia, Dvorah bat Esther, Orna Bluma bat Miriam, Sheina Keila bat Hana, Mordechai David ben Leah, Chaim Nahum ben Pesareza, Ahuva Kaden bat Tali Esther, Tzvi ben Hava, Shmuel Meir ben Shosha Blima, Miriam bat Zelda, Moshe Avram ben Henariva, Haya Tzipora bat Rachel, Ayala Eden bat Rivka, Tova Liba bat Rachel, Nahum Ze'ev ben Sheina Rivka, Yeshua Haim ben Hayalea, וחנה Masha bat Rivka Zelda. Please God, refuah shlema to all of them. בעזרת השם נעשה ונצליח, והשם עלינו ברחמיו ירוויח. We in Parashat Korach. ויקח קורח בן יצהר, בן קהת, בן לוי, ודתן ואבירם, ובני אליאב, ואון בן פלד, ובני ראובן. בכבוד.
Korah, the son of Yitzhak, son of Kohath, son of Levy, separated himself with Dathan and Aviram, sons of Eliab, and On, son of Pelet, the offspring of Reuben.
Okay, here the Torah tells us straight to the point. Vayikach Korach. Here it says that Korach separated himself in English. But again, I have to explain. In Hebrew, it says Vayikach Korach, and Korach took. The Torah doesn't tell us what Korach took. Then the Torah continued, given us his, his what do you call it? Attribute. Where is he come from? Ben Yitzhar, Ben Kehat, Ben Levy. We have to understand. Why is it telling us all of his history? Who was his father? Who was his grandfather? Who was his great-grandfather? Question number 2 that we have to answer. Question number 3, it's saying here something very interesting. At the beginning, it's mentioned On Ben Pelet. And after that, you're not going to hear about On Ben Pelet. I need to explain something very interesting about it. If I forget, please remind me about On Ben Pelet. Okay, so the Torah tells us that Korach took, but the Torah doesn't tell us what did Korach took. And we have to understand what is Korach took. So the Zohar HaKadosh, I'm going to start with the Zohar HaKadosh. Zohar HaKadosh saying that, a matter of fact, you know what he took? He wanted to take honor, proud, respect to himself. And not only that, that's what led him later on, because he wanted so much proud and honor and yiches. That's what later on led them to lose everything. What he had, he lost. Not enough that he didn't get what he wanted to get, he also lost what he had and been swallowed to the ground. And that's what it said, Vayikach Korach. It doesn't say what he took. Rabbi Yonatan Eibshitz. Rabbi Yonatan Eibshitz, born in the city of Krakow in Poland. He born around 333 years ago, plus minus, okay? He wrote a book, Ya'arot Dvash. That means Ya'arot is the wilderness, okay, of honey. What it means, the wilderness of honey? It's a very, very good book that speak about Parashat HaShavua, Ya'arot Dvash. That means that he explained like this. And he said, from that it says, Vayikach Korach. Vayikach Korach. If you look, it says in singularly. It doesn't say Vayikach Korach, Vedatan, Ve'aviram, Ve'on Ben Pelet. No, it starts in singularly. And it always stays singularly. So you have to understand what he took. There is here something for us to understand. Say Rabbi Yonatan Eibshitz, from that you see that each, it say Vayikach, each one of them was individual. What it mean individual? Say Rabbi Yonatan Eibshitz, that each one of them have his own mind. Each one of them wanted to take the glory. But because Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron was there, they decided to make a coalition. And they decided, you know what, let's put Moshe and Aaron first of all out. After that, we're going to make peace in our coalition. We're going to decide how we're going to work it out, the coalition. And that's what it says, Vayikach Korach in singular. That's come to tell you that each one of them wanted to have his own agenda. His own, to have his own proud and to have his own position. Some of them wanted to be the Kohen Gadol, some of them wanted to be the head of the tribes. Each one wanted something else. Because if you look carefully, what's happened here, that the mahloket was because Elchapan ben Oziel been appointed and not Korach. But Korach all the time wanted to dispute Moshe Rabbeinu. And that's the main reason, Rabotai, I have to mention here that I'm going to mention it on Shabbat, because some of you are not going to come to Shiur on Shabbat. I want to share with you later on something very interesting. So that's what he took. Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim say, if you look at the Gematria, Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim, born in Germany around 754 years ago. And he said, take the word Vayikach Korach. The Gematria of Vayikach Korach, it's b'mekah. What it means in a mekah? In an inappropriate or bad business way, in a bad decision, in an argument. He didn't done it properly. That's what Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim said. That means it was a bad trade that Korach done it, in a bad way that he done it. Listen what he said. He said, that Korach, from here that it said, Vayikach Korach, Korach took, you know what he took? He took to himself something very important, the trademark, the copy mark of a person that started the first mahloket in the world. Who was the first person to create mahloket, to create faribel, to create problem? Was Korach. That's what it said, Vayikach. Korach took to himself the trademark, the copyright of all the mahloket. You know, for lahavdil, when a person do something, he invents something, he pay for copyright, so no one can copy him. Here, Korach took to himself the copyright to start arguing. That was Korach. That's what say Rabbi Yaakov Baal HaTurim. Look at that, how beautiful. Rabbi Buna Mipashisha born around 258 years ago. And he said, Vayikach Korach. He come to teach you that a very important principle here. Korach saw that Moshe Rabbeinu had the Rebbe of all of Israel. Everyone respected him. Everyone honored him. He wanted to be in the same position. He wanted the same position. He wanted the same glory that Moshe Rabbeinu have, the same like everyone else. What does it mean? That he was thinking that he deserved it. But in the end, he didn't understand, say Rabbi Buna Mipashisha, that it's not up to him to get it. If he's supposed to get it, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give it to him. By that he try every trick to cause faribel, to cause argument, we saw that he lost what he had, and he never got the proud. Come Rabbi Buna Mipashisha and tell you, Mishelcha itnu lecha. What does it mean? Hazal tell us in a Gemara, whatever's supposed to be yours, they'll give it to you from heaven. If you're supposed to be a famous person, you will be a famous person. You're supposed to be a great rabbi with a lot of honor. From Shamayim, they're going to give it to you. From heaven, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will give it to you. If you're not supposed to get it, you will never get it. The difference is, Korach was thinking with all of his manipulating, causing faribel, causing argument. That's what's going to bring him the glory. And he lost it. I said, from here, that's what Korach wanted. Vayikach Korach. Korach wanted to take the honor to himself. And we know that he got nothing. Let's continue. We said that the second thing that we're going to speak, what is it telling us about all the attribute of the family of Korach? Where is he come? Ben Yitzhar, Ben Kehat, Ben Levy. He was the son of Yitzhar, and then Ben Kehat. Kehat was the son of Levy, and then Ben Levy. Levy was the son of Yaakov Avinu. Why is it telling us all of that? I saw a beautiful commentary of the Hosea Miluvlin. The Hosea Miluvlin explained it so beautifully. First of all, who was the Hosea Miluvlin? The Hosea Miluvlin was Rabbi Yaakov Yitzhak Horowitz. He born around 278 years ago in Poland. And he said something very interesting. He said like this. He said that always you see people that playing in the merit of their grandfather, their father, or the grand-grandfather. You know, I have a great father, he was a great rabbi. Or someone tell you, I have a great-great-grandfather, he was a great rabbi and everything. He said, the Hosea Miluvlin, all of those that want something, they don't come in a sake that they was a great people, they a great scholar person. No, they always come and they try to protest that something deserves to them because their grandfather was a great rabbi. Therefore, they deserve for the yiches, they deserve the honor and the pleasure because who? Their father, their grandfather, or the grand-grandfather was a great man. He said the same here with Korach. The Torah tells us all of his lineage. Why? To understand that Korach, although that he was a great man, he still used who? his father, his grandfather, his great-grandfather. Why? Because in his, although that he was a great man, he was a rich man, he didn't deserve to be appointed. How did Korach become a rich man? The Mefarshim ask. There is two opinions to it. One opinion that he found all the treasure that Yosef HaTzadik drowned in a Nile. That's one opinion. Other opinions say that Korach was the minister of finance, okay, of who? Of Pharaoh, when there was in Egypt. Why? Because it was from the tribe of Levy. The tribe of Levy never was in a hard labor, never worked hard. So he was the finance minister of Pharaoh, so he knew where's all the treasure. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu destroyed Egypt, Hazal said that he had 300 donkeys just to carry the keys wherever he used to hide all of his treasure. So if you have 300 donkeys just for the keys, you can imagine how many treasure and wealth he had. How rich was Korach. And that's what led him and drove him mad. Although that he was rich, he was the richest man. And in Hebrew, there is a say, Ashir kekorach. If you want to say that someone is very rich, you say kekorach. And that drove him mad. How come that he was so rich? And everyone was respecting him because he was rich, but he never got a position. And that's what caused him to lose everything. Okay, so we explained that. Now we have to explain that here the Torah tells us about On ben Peled. On ben Peled at the beginning here mentioned that he come and contradict again to Moshe and Aaron. After that, you don't hear about it. Why? So we know the Midrash that Hazal tell us that what's happened with On ben Peled. On ben Peled come and he told his wife that he's gonna join Korach and his followers to contribute against who? Moshe. The wife was a smart woman. She said to him, tell me, On, you from the tribe of Reuven. I understand that Korach. Why? Because he was from the tribe of Levy. But you, from the tribe of Reuven, you anyway not supposed to get any position, because only the tribe of Levy is supposed to serve in Bet HaMikdash. So what are you getting into that argument? Hazal said that something very interesting happened. What's happened? Hazal said that On ben Peled decide now that he's not going to take, she's right. He said to her, what am I going to do? She said to him, leave it to me. She gave him wine to drink, he fall asleep, and she sit in the front of the tent and she brush her hair. And when they come to call him, everyone saw a woman brushing her hair. They said, whoa, without a head cover, immediately they left. And they left On ben Peled. That's all of you know. But let's understand who was the wife of On ben Peled. Hazal said the same like the wife of On ben Peled saved On and her family from being swallowed into the ground. She came later on twice. She'd been reincarnated twice. Who she came? Hazal say, Chochmat Nashim, that's Moshe Rabbeinu, that's Shlomo HaMelech say, Chochmat Nashim banta beita. That means the wisdom of a wife can build the house. What's happened here? She saved the house. She saved the house and her family. Hazal said later on she came at Slalfonit. Slalfonit was the wife of Manoah. Manoah was the father of who? Shimshon, Slalfonit. And Manoah was the parents of Shimshon HaGibor, Samson. Hazal said the same like Shimshon saved Israel. Here come the reincarnation of the Eshet On ben Peled to save her family and the entire Israel. What does it mean? That when in the time of Shimshon HaGibor was a problem with the Plishtim, the Palestine. Who saved them from all of that? Shimshon HaGibor. The second reincarnation that she came, Michal, the wife of David HaMelech. Michal, that married the king David HaMelech, she saved them from her father. Who was her father that wanted to kill him? Shaul. Shaul wanted to kill David. In her wisdom, she brought him down. She make like a robe from the clothes, and he can manage to escape from the guards of the king that Shaul HaMelech sent to kill David HaMelech. Chazal say that woman, that On Ben Peled's wife, came twice to save the Jewish people. By that she saved David HaMelech fought with the Plishtim, and he saved the Jewish people from the Plishtim. Here, On Ben Peled, the wife saved him and the entire his family and his tribe, because otherwise all the tribe of Reuven will join them. By that On Ben Peled didn't go, she saved them. The same that when she came as the Tzlalfonit, the wife of Manoah, when she came and she saved who? She saved the Jewish people from the hand of the Plishtim. By that his son Shimshon was fighting with the Plishtim. That's, by the way, that commentary that I'm bringing you, it's from the Ramah Mipano, Rabbi Menachem Azariah Mipano. We're going to mention him just now in what do you call it? In a show. Okay, so we see from here something very interesting. We learn what is the message here. We have to understand. Chazal said the message here is that people have to understand. Mishelcha yitnu lecha. Whatever that's supposed to be yours, whatever you deserve to get, you're going to get. HaKadosh Baruch Hu going to give you. Don't think if you try to manipulate, try to cause havoc, try to cause argument and faribel, you're going to get. No. HaKadosh Baruch Hu hate argument and faribel. I saw a beautiful, I heard this morning a beautiful say that, a beautiful commentary, that they say that if you look, how many people been killed with Korach and his followers? Over 250,000. 250,000. When it said 250, Rashi Sanedraot, and Sanhedrin have 1,000 students. Multiplied by 250, 250,000 people die. Say when it's come to mahloket, when it's come to argument, when it's come to faribol, HaKadosh Baruch Hu hated. 250,000 people got killed. Not only that, the manna stopped from coming down. Hazal say, that's by the Ben Ish Hai. The Ben Ish Hai said, by the way, when I said Hazal, the Ben Ish Hai said, look at Het HaEgel. That they worship idols, HaKadosh Baruch Hu only punished the 3,000 people died. And from who? From the multination. They worship idol. 3,000 people killed, but he didn't stop the men. Hazal tell us in the Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin in page 110, folio 1. Listen what Hazal say. Kol ha'holek al rabo, a person that contradicts his rabbi, okay? Ki'ilu holek al hashchina. What does it mean contradict? I have to explain. It doesn't mean that he doesn't agree with him in the halacha. You're entitled. This is our Torah. When it says contradict, that he caused for rebel, that he caused a fight with his rabbi, he go ahead collision with his rabbi, okay? Hazal say ki'ilu holek al hashchina. What does it mean? It's considered like he dispute the divine of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He doesn't agree with the Almighty. So from here we learn something very important. When Korach came and contradict and argue and cause problem with Moshe Rabbeinu and fight with him and with Aaron, it's the same like he fight with Almighty Chas v'Shalom. lo alenu. And the punishment was so severe. 250,000 people, whoop, in a split of a second disappear. How much we have to be careful from argument, for rebel, fighting. And that's the message here, how much we have to be careful. Let's go to verse 5. And in verse 5, we see something quite interesting. We see that Moshe Rabbeinu offered Korach and his followers a very fair offering, and we have to understand what he offered them. Let's read. וידבר אל קורח ואל כל עדתו לאמור, בוקר, ויודע אדוני, ויודע אדוני, לא את אשר לו, ואת הקדוש, ויקריב אליו, את כל אשר יבחר בו, יקריב אליו.
He spoke to Korach and to his entire assembly, saying, in the morning, Hashem will make known the one who is his own and the Holy One, and he will draw him close to himself, and whomever he will choose, he will draw close to himself.
Okay, here we see a very fair offer that Moshe Rabbeinu offered Korach and his followers, and he said to them, listen, I suggest go to sleep tonight, go have a good sleep, and we'll speak about it tomorrow morning. Let's look in the morning, who will HaKadosh Baruch Hu gonna decide? Many of the Mefarshim ask, Moshe Rabbeinu, why are you waiting for the next day? Why you want to make the test and let them sleep over it? Say the Mefarshim something very extraordinary. And now I'm going to bring Rabbi Haim ben Attar. Rabbi Haim ben Attar, born in a city of Sali 327 years ago, that's in Morocco. He wrote the commentary that's called Or HaHaim HaKadosh. And he said that here, Moshe Rabbeinu suggesting to Korach, listen, Korach, you and your followers, I suggest you go sleep over it tonight. Think about it, and in the morning we'll decide, should we proceed with that, or should we give up? Why? Said the Or HaHaim HaKadosh, Moshe Rabbeinu knew if they're going to sleep over it, they're not going to proceed with that. Why? Because they realize that in the sake of the moment, the excitement, they want to fight. But if they sleep over it, it's going to go over. And that's also the Midrash Tanhuma say that. Okay. In the morning, we see that Korach came and continued to argue. Say Rabbi Haim ben Attar, from here, you have to understand what Moshe Rabbeinu offered Korach to teach us. That sometimes we get excited, sometimes we get cross. We want to throw something, we want to say something to someone. Why? Because we're excited, we cross. Say, Rabbi Haim ben Attar, learn from here something very important. Learn that sometimes it's better to sleep, to think twice before you say anything. Before you say anything, think about it. You sleep over it, you'll think twice, you'll come down, and then you decide what to do before you decide to make your decision. That's what Moshe Rabbeinu suggests to who? To Korach and his followers. But we see that Korach the following morning continue. How come? I saw a beautiful commentary that Hazal tell us in the Gemara. Hazal said that Korach all of that night, instead of going to sleep, to rest, to think about it, instead of that, all night he walked all around the camp of Israel, from one place to another place, to entice everyone against Moshe Rabbeinu. That means that he added up more salt on the wound. So instead of sleeping and thinking about it, Korach drove himself mad to cause the mahloket. And that's why Korach never slept, never thought about it. Because if he would go to sleep, it wouldn't happen. He would never cause the problem that he caused. So you learn from here, say Rabbi Haim ben Attar, that sometimes in a spur of a moment, you get cross, you get upset. I need to tell him what I think. Yes, you need to tell him what you think, but decide, is that the appropriate time to say it? What are you trying to say? Is that the right thing? Sleep over it and see, even if you deserve to say what you want to say. Because sometimes you sleep over it, you think about it, in the morning you wake up, you say, I better keep my mouth shut, just leave it. And that's the message here to teach us, Rabbi ben Atar. Nachon that Korach didn't take that message, didn't take that advice. Instead, he gone and add up more salt and put more salt to add up more oil into the fire. And that's what took him down. Let's continue with the same subject. And now I wanna see what Moshe Rabbeinu asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Before they're gonna put the offering, who will be accepted the offering? Look at verse 15, and here Moshe Rabbeinu davening to the Almighty, and we'll see what he said to him. ויחר למשה מאוד, ויאמר אל אדוני, אל תדפן אל מדחתם, לא חמור אחד מהם נסעתי, ולא הראותי את אחד מהם.
This, excuse me, this distressed Moshe greatly. And he said to Hashem, do not turn to their gift offering. I have not taken even a single donkey of theirs, nor have I wronged even one of them.
We have to understand what's happening here. First of all, Moshe was stressed. Why did Moshe was stressed? HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you to appoint Aharon to be the Kohen Gadol. So what are you worried? HaKadosh Baruch Hu told you to appoint Elzapan bin Oziel to become the head of the tribe of the, of the Shevet Kehat. What are you worried? What are you stressed? It's all command from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What are you worried? Why is Moshe Rabbeinu was stressed? That's the question of many of the Mefarshim ask. Why is Moshe Rabbeinu was stressed? Say Rabbi ben Atar, he explained something extraordinary. He said, Nachon, that Moshe Rabbeinu didn't have nothing to worry. Because he didn't make the choice because Aaron was his brother. He didn't done it because of favoritism, because of family. He didn't done it because it was maybe a friend. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him to choose Aaron to be Kohen Gadol. Although that his brother, that was the decision of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu to be the leader of the Jewish people. What can Moshe Rabbeinu do? He have nothing to worry. And then Elzapan ben Oziel said, Or HaChaim HaKadosh, beautiful answer. Listen what he said. He said that Nachon, that Moshe Rabbeinu done exactly what HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not deprive any person. What it means that not deprive any person? HaKadosh Baruch Hu tell us in the Gemara, Hazal, in the Gemara in Masechet Pesachim, the Gemara of Masechet Pesachim, in page 118, folio 1, Hazal tell us, En HaKadosh Baruch Hu mekapeach shum schar b'riyah. That means HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't deprive anyone. Say Moshe Rabbeinu, I'm worried. Maybe one of those 250,000 people, maybe some of them done mitzvot. And maybe that mitzvah that they done, in that merit gonna stand for them. Moshe Rabbeinu was worried that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gonna pay those people now, okay, in this world, and he's gonna accept the offering. What did Moshe Rabbeinu say? Al tefen el minhatam. That means please do not accept the offering. Why not to accept the offering? Because they might done a mitzvah and HaKadosh Baruch Hu want to pay them here before he punished them. Moshe Rabbeinu was so stressed that maybe one of them done a mitzvah. And that's what he said. Velo hamor echad, not even one donkey. Okay? And I didn't harm any one of them. What does it mean? Moshe Rabbeinu was so stressed that God forbid that the Almighty will listen to who? To Moshe, to Korach and his followers, the 250,000 people. Why? Because they may be done a mitzvah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not deprive any person from his reward. And maybe he's going to reward them here in this world. And that's what makes Moshe Rabbeinu stress. And then it says something very interesting at the beginning of the Pasuk, that Moshe Rabbeinu was very distressed. Why is he was distressed? I saw another commentary that bring the Mefarshim. That commentary is from Rabbi Ovadia Bartenura. Rabbi Ovadia Bartenura, born in the north of Italy. He born around 583 years ago, plus minus. And he says something very interesting. He said that Moshe Rabbeinu was not in stress because Korach and his followers contradict him. They have a mahloket against him. They didn't agree with him. That didn't distress him. Oh yes, it was a bit of a distress, but not so much. He said the worst thing that when he asked Datan and Aviram, okay, let's make peace. Come, let's sit on the table, let's discuss it, let's clear it. What is Datan and Aviram said to him? Lo na'ale. That means that Datan and Aviram put the final verdict, we don't want to talk to you. We don't want to see you. We just want to cause problems. There is deeper meaning to it because Moshe Rabbeinu saved the life of Datan. Why? Because Aviram was ready when there was fighting, when there was in Egypt. Aviram also killed Datan. And Moshe Rabbeinu came to them, Rasha, lama takirecha, he said to him. And he separated them and he saved the life of Datan. Hazal say that Moshe Rabbeinu was distressed. He saved the life of Datan. And before that, Hazal say he saved the life where? Say the Zohar HaKadosh, that they was the two babies that the Egyptian put them amongst the mortar as a brick. Why? Because the parents didn't have the same quantity like they done the day before. They took the baby and put it. Moshe Rabbeinu took them out of the mortar, saved their life. Kadosh Baruch Hu said to him, Moshe, you know better than me. You have more comfort, more merciful than me. No problem. You want them, keep them. You'll see how much sorrows they give you. Say that Moshe Rabbeinu was in stress. You know why? Because they didn't want to talk to him. They didn't want to come and sit with him on a table. Although that Moshe Rabbeinu said, Rabbi Ovadia Bartenura was the most humble man, by that he come to sit and negotiate. Let's speak about it. Let's see, maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. When they told him, no, lo na'ale, that they shut the door on his face, Moshe Rabbeinu been put into stress. How come, after all what I've done, you don't even want to discuss it with me? You don't want even to talk to me. And that's what put Moshe to so much distress. So we have two interpretations why Moshe Rabbeinu was in so much stress. Let's go now to verse 30. And look what it says here. And here the Torah tell us something very interesting. ואם בריאה עברי אדוני, ופצתה אדמה את פיה, ובלעה אותם ואת כל אשר להם, וירדו חיים שאולה, וידעתם, כי ניאצו האנשים האלה את אדוני.
Number 30.
Yeah.
But if Hashem will create a phenomenon, and the ground will open its mouth and swallow them and all that is theirs, and they will descend alive to the pit, then you shall know that these men have provoked Hashem.
Okay, what's happening? Here we see that the Torah tells us that Korach and his followers, because they provoke the Almighty, the Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron, they put them in stress, okay? They're gonna be swollen and they're gonna be punished. Come the Rama Mipano that we mentioned earlier. Rabbi Menachem Mipano, he born in the city of Bologna. Bologna is a city in Italy. He born around 475 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. He was a great Kabbalist. He wrote Sefer HaGilgulim. What it means, Sefer HaGilgulim? Sefer HaGilgulim, it's the book of reincarnation. Also, Ari HaKadosh wrote Sha'ar HaGilgulim, the gate of reincarnation. And they explain beautiful thing. And he says, Hazal tell us in a Gemara Masechet Megillah, in page 13, folio 2, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, before he bring a punishment, he always, or before he brings something, he bring a cure to it. If he bring a sickness to the world, before that he bring a cure. He's a cure for it. We just have to find it. He say, although that Korah and his followers been punished with such a harsh punishment, and they've been swollen into the ground, the Gemara in Masechet Baba Batra actually tell us a story about Rabba Bar Hana. Rabba Bar Hana. There's a lot of story that brought in the name of Rabba Bar Hana. What does it mean? Rabba, the son of Hannah. Okay. And his story that he bring in Gemara in Masechet Baba Batra there, in page Ayin Daled. Ayin Daled is 74, folio 1. 74, folio 1, okay. There he tells us a story that he was walking in a wilderness, in Midbar Yehuda, in a wilderness that in Midbar Sinai, not Midbar Yehuda, in a wilderness of Sinai. And he met a Bedouin. And the Bedouin called him and he said to him, Rabbi, you want me to show you where Korach and his followers been buried? He said, yes, sure. He said, follow me. He took him to a place and he showed him a hole. He said, take a long stick of cotton wool, fill it up with water. Okay, I'll do. He took that stick, a long stick, and ahead of it, he put the cotton wool and he tied it and he filled it up with water. He said to him, shove it in. He pushed it in as deep as he can, and then he pulled it back, and that cotton wool was dry. He said, what's happening here? He said, listen, put your ears on a hole. He said to him, why? He said, put your ear on a hole. He put his ear, and Hazal said that he hear a voice, and the voice saying like this, Moshe emet, v'torato emet, v'anachnu abadaim. That means Moshe is true, and his Torah is true, and we are the lies. Said the Bedouin to Moshe, to Rabba Bar Hana, he said to him, that's where Korach and his followers been swollen in a wilderness. That was 1500 years after the occasion. Why? Because the Gemara, the Talmud, been written at least 1500 years after the story of Korah. Okay, that's what Hazal tell us in the Gemara Masechet Baba Batra, that Rabba Bar Hana knew where they are. Why am I saying it? Said the Rama Mipano, although that the earth swallowed them, and until today, they lo alenu where they are. Okay, under the ground, been swallowed. They have a special Gehenna. Said the Rama Mipano, that was a great Kabbalistic. For the time that Mashiach will come, when the Mashiach will come, Korach and his followers, okay, gonna be reincarnate and gonna have a highest place, okay, in heaven. They have a special, not highest place, they have a nice place in heaven, okay? say from here you learn, although that Moshe Rabbeinu chose that. In Shabbos, we're going to explain why did Moshe Rabbeinu chose dafka that kind of a punishment, that the earth will open them and they're going to get swollen. There is a Kabbalistic meaning for it. Be'ezrat Hashem, on Shabbos, I will explain. Those of you that want to know the answer, if you're not going to be on Shabbos, you're more than welcome to phone me. I'll explain it privately, why Moshe Rabbeinu chose that. Come the Ari HaKadosh and say, Ari HaKadosh, Rabbi Yitzhak Luri Ashkenazi, he born in Jerusalem 489 years ago. He said, I'm going to prove it to you that Korach and his followers, when the Mashiach come, going to be re-resurrected. He said like this. He said in Shara Psukim, if I'm not mistaken, Shara Psukim, Pasuk Dalet, I think Pasuk Yud Dalet, 14, verse 14. He said, look what David HaMelech said. David HaMelech said in Tehillim, in chapter 92, verse 13, Tzadik katamar ifrah. Tzadik katamar ifrah. He said, take the last letters of every word. Tzadik, it's kuf. Tzadik. Katamar, resh. Okay? Yifrah, het, the last letters. He said, Rashet Tevot Korach. He said, from here you learn that every last word, sorry, not Rashet Tevot, Sofet Tevot, Korach. He said, from here you learn that David HaMelech already tell us in the book of Tehillim that when the Mashiach come, Korach going to be re-resurrected, him and all of his followers. And that's what this verse come to teach us. Say, Ari HaKadosh and the Ramah Mipanu. Let's continue. Now I'm going to skip to chapter 17, verse 5. Okay, 17, 5. Yeah. Okay, 17, 5. Yeah. Let's go and look at 17, 5 and look what it said. In chapter 17, verse 5, the Torah tells us, זיכרון לבני ישראל, למען אשר לא יקרב איש זר, אשר לא מזרע אהרון, הוא להקטיר כתורת לפני אדוני, ולא יהיה כקורח ועדתו, כאשר דיבר אדוני ביד משה, לא.
So it says, as a reminder to the children of Israel, so that no alien who is not of the offspring of Aaron shall draw near to bring up the smoke of incense before Hashem, that he not be like Korach and his assembly, as Hashem spoke about him through Moshe.
Okay, what does it mean? Here we have a negative command, not to be like Korach and his followers, to cause faribel, to cause argument, to cause a fight, to try to avoid argument, let's call it. That's what the Torah tells us. Come the Shala Kadosh. Shala Kadosh, Rabbi Yeshua Levy Horovitz. He born in the city of Prague in the Czech Republic. He born around 465 years ago. And he, in Shara Otiyot, in his book Shara Otiyot, The Gate of the Letters, okay, chapter 2, verse 12, he says something very important. He said that Hazal tell us in the Gemara in Masechet Yerushalmi, Masechet Hagigah, chapter 1, Halacha Zayin, that means law number 7, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu hate argument, hate faribel, hate fighting, he hate that. And he say that I'm going to bring you Hochacha, I'm going to show you, okay, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu hate that. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu hate argument and faribel more than idol worshiping? He said like this. He said a person have to be very careful, has v'shalom, not to cause argument between people, not to cause faribel, not to cause a fight between people. He said that how do you learn that? Hazal tell us that the simple person amongst the Jewish people, and we saw it in a Spanish Inquisition, we saw it in the Holocaust, though that was simple people. When I say simple people, not highly educated, they was willing to die and not to worship idols. We saw it especially in the Spanish Inquisition. And a crusade, we saw that people, the simple people, not willing to worship idols. He said, but you have to understand that if a person talk lashon hara in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's worse than worshiping idol. He said, how do you learn that? Because Hazal and the Gemara in Masechet Hagigah in the Yerushalmi that we mentioned, Perek Aleph Halacha Zayin, that means chapter 1, law number 7, Hazal tell us that in the eyes of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it's worse to cause an argument, to cause a faribel, to cause a mahloket, then to worship idol. He said, that's what that verse come to teach us, Say Hashala HaKadosh. The Torah here tell us, Lo yeh kekorach v'adato. You must understand that lashon hara, that people talk, an argument, it's worse than worshiping idol. Why am I saying lashon hara? Because usually when people tattletale, that's what's caused all the problem. That's what's caused the argument. You heard what he said about you? You heard what he said? And that's when the stories start to boil. Why are you talking lashon hara? Keep quiet. Zip. Why you want to add up more oil to the fire? Say the Shala Kadosh. From here you learn Kadosh Baruch Hu. When he decided to make that, when he told you that Lo yeh kekorach v'adato, is to teach you something very important. Kadosh Baruch Hu hate forever. Let's go to verse 12. And verse 12, I'm going to bring the Zera Shimshon, Rabbi Shimshon Chaim Nachmani, that we try to bring every week. I'm bringing, and wherever I give shorim, if it's in Shabbat at Yeshiva College, when I give shorim at the Sfarad Shul, at Keter, I give them also all the time. I'm bringing all different Hidushim of the Zera Shimshon. And listen what the Zera Shimshon say about verse 12. Look what it says here. ויקח אהרון כאשר דיבר משה וירוץ אל תוך הקהל והנה חיל הנגף בעם וייתן את הקטורת ויכפר על העם. Very interesting verse. בכבוד.
Aaron took as Moses had spoken and ran to the midst of the congregation. And behold, the plague had begun among the people.
What's happened? The following day, after Korach and his followers, the following morning, after Korach and his followers been swollen to the ground, Moshe Rabbeinu wake up in the morning, him and Aaron, obviously going to the tabernacle. The entire Jewish people walking towards them and accuse them that you killed the Jewish nation. I said, what are you talking about? Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron didn't even have a chance to digest what happened. Now they've been accused that they killed, that they caused the mahloket, they caused the faribel, they caused the argument, they to blame. Why 250,000 people got killed when the earth opened her mouth and swallowed? Sorry. Moshe Rabbeinu didn't even have a chance to understand what's cooking around. HaKadosh Baruch Hu that heard that got cross and brought a plague on the Jewish people. Moshe Rabbeinu that was shocked by what the children of Israel saying to him, suddenly see that there is a plague, people dying like flies. Immediately he said to Aaron, listen to me, quick. Go sacrifice the sacrifice of spices. That's called ketoret. Aaron listened to him. Immediately he ran. The Torah tells us that he ran. And that's the main issue that we have to understand. Why did it say that Aaron ran? Moshe Rabbeinu said to Aaron, quickly, do the sacrifice of the spices. When I was in heaven, before I brought the Torah down, each angel brought me gift. What does it mean, gift? We'll see now. And the angel of death give me gift. Gemara Masechet Shabbat, remember, Pei Tet Amud Bet, 89, folio 2. Hazal say that the angel of death given a gift to Moshe Rabbeinu. What gift? It was a suggestion. He said to him, whenever you see that there is a plague in the Jewish people, immediately bring the sacrifice of the spices, and that will stop the plague. Moshe Rabbeinu said to Aaron, I know there is a plague, do the sacrifice of the spices and you can stop the plague. And that's what Aaron done. Aaron done it, and immediately he ran, the Torah tells us, into the crowd. Come the Zerah Shimshon and said, listen, why does the Torah have to tell us that Aaron ran to the middle of the crowd? What difference does it make to me? That's the question of the Zerah Shimshon. Why does the Torah have to tell me? You done the sacrifice of spices. You still have to run? Yes, you still have to run. Why? So I'm going to give two interpretations that the Zerah Shimshon bring for us to understand, and then I bring also the Zohar, and we have to understand. The Zerah Shimshon say that the reason that Moshe Rabbeinu told him to do the spice, because that was the remedy how to stop a plague. Who told him that? The angel of death. That's the present that he given him. Okay. Said the Zerah Shimshon, immediately when Moshe Rabbeinu ran into the crowd, okay, I know that was his job, okay, but he can walk, he can do it slowly. By that he ran, he showed that although that just yesterday they spoke about him, that he's not deserved to be the Kohen Gadol, he been appointed because it was manipulation by his brother, all of that the hurt is feeling, and he was being hurt, he left that aside and he ran to save the Jewish people. Said the Zerah Shimshon, from here you learn the greatness of Aaron. But he said, but from here you learn another thing. You learn something very important. By that the Torah tells us that Aaron ran, HaKadosh Baruch Hu tested Aaron. Is he going to walk or is he going to run? If he's going to run to do the mitzvah, to do the sacrifice of the spices, I'm going to stop as quickly the plague. That's me, said the Zerah Shimshon, HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted to see how Aaron gonna act towards that plague after he'd been hurt. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu will see that Aaron ran to do the mitzvah, ran to save the Jewish people, immediately he's gonna stop the plague. He said, what? That's why the Torah tells us that Aaron ran. Okay, but we still have a question. Why does it say in a pasuk? Look what it says. Vayarotz el toch hakal, and he ran into the crowd. Why dafka into the crowd? I saw a beautiful hidush that the Zohar HaKadosh brings. The Zohar HaKadosh in Parashat Vayakel, in page Resh Yud Het, 218, folio 2. The Zohar in Parashat Vayakel, page 218, folio 2. Say, from that it said that Aaron ran into the crowd, it said that kafat et malach hamavet, it's like he hold the malach hamavet. I don't know what does it mean to hold, I'm not a Kabbalistic, but he hold them, kemo mahzik adam behavero, like a person ties someone, if he doesn't want him to do anything, you hold him and you tie him up so he can't harm. That's how Moshe Rabbeinu done to Malach HaMavet, said the Zohar HaKadosh. The Malach HaMavet was arguing with Aaron. He said, I've been commanded by the Almighty to kill, to bring that plague, and you're stopping me. He said, yes, I'm stopping you. Who told you to stop me? He said, Moshe. But you want to tell me that Moshe is higher than HaKadosh Baruch Hu? He said, no. If Moshe told me to do it, I will do it. Because Moshe is the Bet Din of Mata. In Bet Din of Mata, Pashkim, Lema'ala Maskimim. That means if here, there, they agree to stop the plague, also in heaven they stop the plague. In the end, we know that they stop the plague. Okay? What does it teach us? Vayarot Aaron toch hakahal. He ran, although that they upset him, although that they contradict his position. They didn't agree with that. They contradict that he is going to be the Kohen Gadol. Although so, Aaron HaKohen that have such a special heart, Ohev Shalom verodef Shalom, he loved peace and he ran after peace. He ran immediately to do Shalom. But how does he make the Shalom? By that he ran to bring the sacrifice of spices. Okay? And that's how HaKadosh Baruch Hu immediately stopped also the plague. Midah keneged midah. Aaron, I want to see how you're going to react. Are you going to walk, take your time? No, you ran, immediately I stopped. El toch HaKahal, to the crowd, to hold the Malach HaMavet, not to do any more harm, not to kill any more people. That's the Zohar HaKadosh. I would like to conclude with verse 8 in chapter 18. Let's go to chapter 18, verse 20. And here we see something very interesting that the Torah tells us. Where is it? Verse 18. Here I am. ויאמר אדוני אל אהרון, בארצם לא תנחל וחלק לא יהיה לך בתוכם, אני חלקך ונחלתך בתוך בני ישראל.
Verse 20, Hashem said to Aaron, in their land you shall have no heritage, and a share shall you not have among them. I am your share and your heritage among the children of Israel.
Okay, here we see something very interesting. The Torah tells us that the tribe of Levy doesn't have any heritage in the land of Eretz Israel. What does it mean when the children of Israel are going to enter the land of Eretz Israel? They doesn't have a land. They doesn't have any heritage. And we have to understand why. I'm going to bring two different ideas, and from them we have to understand. I'm going to bring first the opinion of the Sefer HaChinuch. The Sefer HaChinuch, it's mitzvah Taf Kuf Hey, that means 505. Sefer HaChinuch been written, by Rabbi Aharon HaLevi. Rabbi Aharon HaLevi, born in the city of Gorondia. Gorondia is what's called Gorondi today. It's in Spain. He born around 788 years ago. And he said like this. He said, the Shevet Levi, that's the Kohanim came from it, they serving in Bet HaMikdash. What is their job? Is to create peace and harmony, to make peace between man and his fellow friend, between peace between man and Almighty. They're supposed to create peace and harmony. Now, if the children of Israel will have share in the land of Eretz Israel, have a portion in the land of Eretz Israel, somehow they're going to benefit from the misery of the other nation. Why? Because when the children of Israel entered the land of Eretz Israel, for 7 years, Yeshua bin Nun, okay, he fought with the nation, and they got a heritage in the land. Somewhere along the line, the Levy have to benefit, if it's from their houses, if from the vessel, from the spoil that they left, whatever, they're going to benefit. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said, you're going to serve in Bet HaMikdash. I don't want people to upset other people. People that serve in Bet HaMikdash should not upset other people. Therefore, you're not going to have a land on Eretz Israel that other people, that you're going to benefit from other people's misery. That's why the Shevet of Levy doesn't have a portion in the land of Eretz Israel. Say Rabbi Aaron HaLevi. Remember, that's Sefer HaChinuch. Come Rabbi Yitzhak Arama. Rabbi Yitzhak Arama, he wrote the book Sefer HaAkedah, okay? He born around 607 years ago in Spain, plus minus if I'm not mistaken. He wrote a book, it's called Sefer HaAkedah, Sefer HaAkedah Yitzhak. Because his name is Yitzhak Arama, so it's HaAkedah Yitzhak, but they call it Sefer HaAkedah. And he bringing completely different interpretation. And he said, you know why HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't give the tribe of Levy any heritage, any land? Because if he would give them land, the tribe of Levy have to work. They have to plow the land, they have to plant and then to harvest. It's come to teach you, if people see that the most chosen people working for their life, they're going to say, if they're working, as simple people, we're not going to have to learn Torah. Come say in Sefer HaRama, the main reason that HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't given the tribe of Levi, when I say the tribe of Levi, it includes the Kohanim, because the Kohanim come from the tribe of Levi. Say the Baal HaAkedah, Rabbi Yitzhak HaRama, like this. He said that everyone must see how the tribe of Levi doesn't work for the land and still survive, okay? Still, he's still alive, he doesn't starve, and they learn, nachon that you have to work. That means that with the sweat of your soul, you're going to eat. That's the mitzvah that we eat. And the Rambam paskin le'alacha, that the person that go to work, every day that the person go to work, it's a mitzvah. It's a proper mitzvah. And also, by that you, the tribe of Levi, you're the chosen people, and you're not working the land, you're not doing anything, that will show the rest of the tribe, that means the rest of Israel, that they have to understand that nachon that they're working, nachon that HaKadosh Baruch Hu told us, given us that curse that we have to work, but you're still obligated to learn Torah. That means nachon that each one of us, because we simple people, we have to go to work, but we have to make special time, special hours, special days that we study Torah, wherever we can to go and study Torah. And that's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't give the tribe of Levi, okay, any portion on the land, any share when they go to Eretz Israel, when they enter the land of Eretz Israel, they're not going to have any portion in the land of Eretz Israel. That's how Rabbi Yitzhak Arama explained. And Be'ezrat Hashem, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu will have a merit on us, that, and give us the strength and the power to learn Torah, to teach Torah, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will send us Mashiach Tzidkenu speedily in our day. Amen. Ken Yeh Ratzon. Now, for those of you that want to ask a question, please unmute the microphone and I'll try to answer. Bechavod.
Hello, it's Anthony. How are you?
Erev Tov, Antonio, how are you?
All right, good, thanks.
Ken,
First of all, was Korach and Moshe first cousins? That's the first question. Or what were they, second cousins?
Nahon, there was cousin. Nahon, there was cousin.
First cousins.
First cousin, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I need to check it out because I'm not sure how it was.
Okay.
Because
and then when the land,
Continue. Sorry.
When the land swallowed them up, was there like an earthquake? Was it an earthquake of some sort that the land swallowed them up? How did it actually work that the land opened?
So Hazal explained that the land, wherever they were standing, them, their family, they belonging, whatever was belonged to Korach. For example, Korach land, someone that wasn't in a mahlok, someone that was even not amongst his followers, he lent them, let's say, tools, a needle. Chazal say whatever was belonged to any one of those 200,000 people, the followers, Korach and his followers, everything got swallowed. Them and their family, everything, except the 3 kids of Korach. The 3 kids of Korach, when they realized what Moshe Rabbeinu said to Korach, they say, oh, maybe Moshe Rabbeinu is right. Chazal said they done tshuva. When they done tshuva, they've been saved. Chazal said that not only that, On Ben Pelet, he was drunk, he was falling asleep. His bed starting to move towards get swollen.
Yes.
His wife hold it, and that's how she saved his life, said the Midrash. It will start to roll down to be swallowed, or the wife of On Ben Pelet hold it. And she said, listen, he didn't go on to contradict. He done tshuva. Leave him, she screamed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's how she saved him. She saved him, and she saved her family. And
the son. And then
Obviously.
You say one day when the Mashiach comes, they'll go to Gan Eden. All Korach and his followers will go to Gan Eden.
Yeah, they all. Kol Israel yesh lahem helek la'olam haba. What it mean helek? Share. Where they're going to be in Gan Eden, we don't know. There is, like I explained, it's a stadium. Okay, those that sit far away, they see the game, the players, the thing very small. Those that sit in the front see it live. You follow? Where they're going to be, they have a share. Where, I don't know.
Okay, so you'll find out if they were first cousins, Korach and Moshe.
I just need to work it out. Yeah. Because Amram was from the tribe, the son of Levy. Kehat they were second cousin. Okay, there wasn't first cousin. There was second cousin.
Second cousins.
Yeah, they couldn't be first cousin.
Okay. And just one thing you say.
Because look, Yitzhar ben what it say? Amram ben Yitzhar ben Yitzhar ben Kehat. Yeah, they were second cousin.
Thanks. And also, you say the Kohanim don't have a share in the land. Is that included?
They not have a share. They does not have a share. They doesn't have a portion in the land of Israel.
Is that
The
also include the orphans?
The Kohanim live in Mahane Leviah. There's a camp that's called the camp of Levy. That's where the Kohanim.
And also the orphans and the widows don't have a portion as well.
Why not? They have.
I know.
Where do we learn that? Bnot Tzlofchad. They have a heritage. There was orphan. And the wife of Tzlofchad. What I say about the Kohen, when I say the Kohen, it's the Levy, the Yatom, Hagel, the Almana. These 4 that belong to the Almighty. HaKadosh Baruch Hu loved those 4. That's nothing to do with heritage on the land. No, that's nothing to do with heritage on the land.
That's what I was
I
thinking
think that you're mixing.
Yeah, I was thinking of that.
That's what you're mixing. They do. Okay.
Thanks very much. Okay, thanks.
Pleasure. Any other question regarding the subject of Parashat Korach? If you have any question, please unmute the microphone. Don't be shy. I try and answer. Bechavod. Bechavod.
Excuse me. Rob, can I
Jeffrey?
ask a couple of questions?
Bless you.
Gesund.
Sure.
We have here your explanation regarding the Keturah, that he ran quickly to do, because it's strange that it's used as it starts the Parsha with saying Korach took, and now it says and Aaron took. It's 2 different takes here. They both took. So Korach took, you explained, that it was on him saying there was arrogance in this. There was an arrogance on him. But with Aaron, it was totally the other way around. They used the same word for took for Korach as it was for Korach as it was for Aaron. He took, and what we in this way used to be the Keturus, which was against the angel, against the plague, and against the angel of death, and to stop the plague, and the other one says and took is because of his arrogance. He was an arrogance that he took on himself,
That's
an
it.
arrogance. So it's
That's
like
it.
a total opposite, but the same word.
Exactly. What Aaron done, he didn't care about himself. He didn't care about his position. Aaron was caring about the rest of the nation of Israel, while Korach was caring about himself. He wanted a great honor. He wanted a great position. And we'll explain, and I'm going to tell you something, because you're not going to be on Shabbos. I'm going to tell you something, and please God, tomorrow when I'll see you and Frank, I'm going to tell you the secret. Hazal say in a Gemara in Masechet Baba Batra that Bedouin guy that showed Rabbi Bar Hana, where are they buried? He said to him, the voice is very loud on Rosh Chodesh. Why Dafka on Rosh Chodesh? There's a secret here. Why you can hear Korach and his followers when they're saying Moshe Emet v'Torato Emet, Anachnu Abadayim, we are the liars. Why you can hear him clearly on Rosh Chodesh? Second question, why did Moshe Rabbeinu chose that punishment to be swollen into the ground? Rabotai, there is here a secret. I see that Mark not going to be with us, Hilton can't be with us, Lionel can't be with us, Jeffrey can't be, Phil, I don't know if he's going to be with us, and Frank not going to be with us on Shabbos. I'm going to reveal it, except Ivor and Anthony going to be with us, but they'll excuse me. They're going to hear it maybe twice. I'll tell you the secret. You know what Korach and his followers wanted to do? Said the Zerah Shimshon, Korach came to everything. He said, V'kol ha'eda kedoshim, all the assembly are the holy people. That means all the 12 tribes are kosher. How many months a year do we have? 12 months. Korach came to Moshe Rabbeinu and said, you chose your brother Aaron to be Kohen Gadol? No. All the assembly is holy. Each one of them going to be Kohen Gadol. Each tribe going to be the Kohen Gadol for 1 month. So Kadosh Baruch Hu, that's what you're saying. That's how you try to convince everyone. Although there is their gematria, what there is, that they didn't reach. And Moshe Rabbeinu said to him, Rab lach. What it mean, Rab? Resh bet. Resh is 300. Bet is 2, 302. HaKadosh Baruch Hu said to Moshe Rabbeinu said to Korach, stop here. We didn't reach the final. Let us finish the final, and then Rosh Chodesh going to be a festival to all the Jewish people. And then everyone going to be Kohen Gadol. But that's only when the Mashiach come, not now. We're still in a wilderness, and you're still causing problem. Don't do that. He didn't want to listen. That's why I say the Bedouin to Rabbi Bar Hana, every Rosh Chodesh I can hear them. You know why? Because he said he wanted to convince the nation. How did he manage to convince 200,000 people? But that he told them, listen, Each one of you can be Kohen Gadol for 1 month. Do you understand where how he tried to attract them? Now, why did Moshe chose that they're all going to swallow into the ground? Moshe Rabbeinu was a reincarnation of Hevel.
Yeah.
Korach was a reincarnation of Cain. Cain killed Hevel. Udmei achecha tzoakim elai min ha'adama, and the blood of your brother screaming to me from the ground. Moshe Rabbeinu was the reincarnation of Hevel. Cain killed Hevel. The blood been swallowed into the ground. Later on, Cain been reincarnated as the Egyptian that Moshe Rabbeinu buried in the ground. Now came Korach. Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to rectify Korach. He wanted to take him out, but he couldn't. Why? Because Korach now gone and argue. He said the same, I have to do midah keneged midah. You was, in a previous reincarnation, was Cain. You killed your brother, Hevel. What did you done? You buried him in the ground. Midah keneged midah. You have to go under the ground. Now you understand what was punishment? When you learn the Torah, nachon that there is the pshat, but there is pshat, remes, drash, vesod. So today I didn't want to tell the sod behind it, because usually I promise on Shabbos, but most of the people that come to the show, not yet. A lot of people that not going to be on Shabbos, except Iva and Anthony. And I say, I will share it with you. You understand now why Moshe Rabbeinu chose that kind of a punishment that they're all going to swallow? Because that's what Korach done in a previous life to who? To Hevel, because Korach was kind. Moshe Rabbeinu start to rectify by that he killed the Egyptian and he buried him. Left the last part that he need to fix. Come Korach and decide to contradict Moshe Rabbeinu and Aaron. Try to cause argument, try to cause forever. Moshe Rabbeinu said, listen, I've done 90% of the job, I already bury you. Now let me take all the little bit of you, and I'm going to rectify you properly. Korach instead argued. Moshe Rabbeinu said, in that case, you still have what Cain had. What did Cain have? How Cain become? Chazal say, how did Cain become the first murderer in the world? Mizohamat hanahash. What it means, zohamat hanahash? The dirtiness, the impurity of the snake. מה זה קשור? The Mekubalim explain that the Nahash, we was jealous of Adam Arishon that he had Hava. Hava was so beautiful. Itil bazohama. The impurity. That impurity that he put in Hava, who took it all? Cain. And that's what caused all the problem. The first murderer in the world. And now Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to rectify all of this. Come Korach and argue. No. More important for him, the yiches, the kavod. Say, Moshe, listen, you're almost there. Let me fix it. No, he's not interested. Why? Because he won the title. How many stripes he going to have on his shoulder? Say, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, in that case, okay. Moshe Rabbeinu said, I'm going to take you to the same punishment, the same like you done to who? To Hevel. You killed him and you buried him, and the blood that the ground took, now I need to punish you. By the way, that's one of the reasons that whatever we plant, if we're not gonna plow the garden, not work on the garden, these weeds. Why? Because she swallowed the blood of Cain. That's the Zohar HaKadosh in Perek Memchet. Bereshit Taman. There he explained that. Asara laka-Adam, Asara lehava, Asara le-Nahash, Utish'a le-Ara'ah. Although that it wasn't in the ground fault, but she still swallowed the blood of heaven. It's a bit deep, it's not for now. But now I explain why dafka that punishment and why, okay, why dafka Rosh Chodesh? Because Korach convinced the 12th tribe that he came to them with the idea that every Rosh Chodesh, different tribe going to be the Kohen Gadol. I hope that you enjoyed the show, Rabotai.
Oh, fantastic.
Any other question? Any other question?
There is a question. It may be may not be politically correct, but it's a question. I think we're all together. Yeah. It says very clearly, and you spelled it out, that the Levium will not have a share in the land, and that because their service is to serve Hashem. It's to serve in the base of Mikdash, to serve in the teaching and the studying and the learning. That is their mission and their function. They are doing Hashem's work in this world. This is what you've explained to us now. Now, what's very important is that what's going on with the statement that the religious, the people, the observant, are not participating in the army. Now, this tells
you saw that video.
This is a message here in this parsha. This is their job, is not to go into the army. It's to teach and to serve and to make sure that we continue. And we continue, and that's the underlying. This is what your This is what you're teaching us.
Maybe I should make a show about it, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, sorry to cut you. Maybe I should make a show about what's happened. About what's happened, what's happening now in Israel. How do we get to it? The Zohar HaKadosh say in Parashat Bereshit. No, sorry, Parashat Noah. Why am I talking Parashat Bereshit? Parashat Noah. The Zohar saying that the same generation of the flood gonna come in this generation just before the Mashiach comes. Whatever happened then, it's gonna happen now. That's what say the Chacham Mikol Adam, Shlomo HaMelech. En hadash tachat Hashem. There's nothing new under the sun. Say the Zohar HaKadosh, you'll see people that hate religion.
Yeah.
There's a reason. What is it? Why did I hate religion? Where I am. Why do you hate me? I have a pulse. I have a beard. What difference does it make to you? Did I tell you how to dress? No. Why do you come to me? I need to make a show about it to explain it.
Yeah.
It's going to be it have to be an open show. It have to be an open show to discuss it. But you have to understand what's hiding behind it. Hazal asked why they call Har Sinai, Sinai. Why they call Har Sinai, Sinai mountain? Hazal in a Gemara. שירדה שנאה לעולם. What it mean ירדה שנאה לעולם? In a moment that the Jewish people received the Torah, hatred come to the world. People hate us. Why? Because we took the Torah. We took the Torah. Not them. They didn't receive the Torah. Sinai, milshon sin'ah. Sinai is hatred. I need to develop it. I need to make a special show about it. But it's not going to be a show like this. I will talk, but it's going to be a lot of questions and a lot of debate, opening question, one-on-one, that we're going to do it. If you people interesting, I never done it. I never done an open show, open debate show. It's not going to be actually more debate. I'm going to explain, but you're going to have your own say, and you're going to understand what's happening. And Be'ezrat Hashem, Let me think about it, how to do it, because I don't want to offend anyone. I want to do it with, I'll discuss it with you, and then we'll decide what to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Be'ezrat Hashem. Rabotai, I hope that you enjoyed the shiur. I know that I took 1.5 hours. Really appreciate that you enjoyed it. But I hope that you enjoyed the show. I hope that you enjoy it. You enjoy all the secret behind the Parsha. I know that sometimes it's look pashut, and that's what I do on Shabbos. Every Shabbos, an hour before Minha on Yeshiva College, it's a live show. I speak, and whatever I spoke in a show, most of it I bring the secret of the Torah. That means I bring most what Hazal say, what's hiding behind it. I bring the commentary, and then I go depths into it, like we explained now. What we're going to do in Shabbat, it's part of it. There's many others that we're going to explain what's happening, how's it happening, what's happening, why did it happen? You know what I'm saying? And Be'ezrat Hashem, I hope to see you all on Shabbos, an hour before Minha, and I'm going to bring other Hidushim on Shabbos, Be'ezrat Hashem. In the meantime, thank you for joining us. Wishing you Shabbat Shalom to all of you. And I hope that you will enjoy the Shabbos. I hope that you have a new idea how to look at the Parsha with all the depths that we learned today. Thank you for joining us. Shabbat Shalom to everyone. I hope that you enjoy it. Have a great Shabbos. All the best. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Rav.
Thank you. Good night. Good night.